Moving on, a new report is shedding light on the true cost of America's military operations against Iran, and the numbers are staggering. At least 42 US aircraft were lost or damaged during Operation Epic Fury.
March 24th, 2026. Donald Trump speaks into the cameras. 6 words that will get as old as milk in the heat of a desert. The Iranian regime can't do a thing. In the mountains of Iran, 10 days later, a $90 million F-15E Strike Eagle is spinning out of control. 2 pilots crash into enemy territory. This was only the first step. At the end of the clock, 8 American planes had disappeared. 2 of them are destroyed by the hands of America. In a span of 48 hours, an investment of more than $600 million. But this is what no one will tell you. The planes weren't the whole story. This was one real story of an American colonel. Alone, injured, hunted, traveling through the Zagros Mountains, surrounded by a whole nation, Iran was willing to pay $60,000 for his whereabouts. Armed tribesmen combed the ridgelines. The IRGC watered the valleys, and the United States dispatched more than 100 planes to remove him. In this video, you'll learn why it was the boldest rescue in US history, why Iran made comparisons to the last time America took some bold action inside their borders. An operation, Operation Eagle Claw. The one which featured the burning helicopters, 8 dead Americans, and a never-recovered president. Chapter 1. The trap was already built. The war started February 28, 2026. Iran was attacked on the same day by the US and Israel. Over 30 targets in the first hours. That was the plan: destroy Iran's air defenses, take the skies, set the terms. It worked. Mostly. A lot of empires leak at mostly. This is the trap, and already constructed prior to the first missile shot. Iran didn't have to conquer the sky. All they had to do was make it too costly to remain in it. Chapter 2. The $5,000 math problem. Missile that can be fired from the shoulder. Man-portable. Heat-seeking. Carried on one soldier's back, it costs roughly $5,000. It does not employ radar technology. It tracks heat, yet exhaust. The same air that is pouring out of a $90 million aircraft at low altitude. $5,000 against $90 million. Each time Iran did pull that trigger, they won on the spreadsheet. Something made that equation deadly by early April. The US and Israeli stockpiles of missiles were dwindling. The long-range weaponry that allowed you to attack from beyond the threat zone was getting used up more quickly than anyone had anticipated, which demanded that pilots have to fly less than 2 miles away. Closer meant lower. Lower equals seekers of heat. The trap wasn't a weapon. The catch was a math problem. So on April 3rd, 2026, a call sign appeared to be the solution. Chapter 3. The first time in 40 years. The F-15E Strike Eagle had never been hit by an adversary. Not in 40 years. Did not participate in Gulf War. Not in Afghanistan. Not in Syria. 0 losses. Until April 3rd. The plane was flying over the southern part of Iran. Combat mission. Strike package. What hit it is still classified. The crew had the experience of a shoulder-fired missile that was on its way through the airframe at low altitude. The pilot ejected. A colonel, the weapons systems officer, ejected. 2 parachutes. Open sky. Enemy ground. The pilot was recovered in a matter of hours. Quick. Clean. The colonel wasn't. Chapter 4. The Zagros Mountains. The colonel came down in the Zagros Mountains. Ancient terrain. Ridgelines that climb straight up 14,000 feet. A place the Bakhtiar nomads have been hunting and herding across for 1,000 years. He knew just what that meant. The IRGC poured water into the valleys in just a few minutes. On state television, Iran placed a number on his head: $60,000. Rural Iran, 3 years' salary. Armed tribesmen went into the high ground. The IRGC soldiers occupied the roads. Police commandos fanned out in between. He had one tool: an emergency beacon. Radio transmitter as small as a fist. However, the issue was, each time he used it, it would broadcast his location. Each time he failed to, he was in danger of being never found. He is signaled and they locate him. Dark means no one. So he did what was to be done. Send out the beacon in short bursts. Then silence. Move. Hide. Wait. 4 days in the mountains in Iran. Chapter 5. Send everything. Of course, the next question concerns the timing of Trump's remarks. Let's not forget the timing of Trump's comments. He says send everything more than 100 aircraft. The Pentagon kept its eyes on the clock in Washington, and Trump made a decision. Not a measured one, not a cautious one. He told his driver, send everything. Not a rescue team, not a strike package. Everything. More than 100 aircraft, 4 bombers, 64 fighters, 48 refueling tankers, 13 rescue aircraft. SEAL Team 6, Delta Force. Real-time intelligence feed into coordinates for Israel, all to get one man. However, they had to find a place to set down. In hostile territory. In the dark, in a country where the entire national apparatus was hunting as they were. Chapter 6. The Abandoned Airstrip. It was discovered by a Delta Force team, a former agricultural airstrip, 14 miles north of Shiraz, Isfahan province. A length of 3,900 feet, 200 feet in width. This is shorter than some highway on ramps. It was going to be the site of 2 MC-130J Combat Shadow aircraft landing. At night, in an unfriendly sky. Just a bit too short. Just barely. Chapter 7. Where 8 aircraft die. Darkness was the time of the rescue. The perimeter was held by Delta Force and SEAL Team 6. Attack planes circled in the air. There were incidents of bombs being dropped on Iranian convoys coming in from the north, east, and south. The entire airspace was jammed with electronic signals. In the dark, 2 MC-130J Combat Shadow aircraft came into that 3,900-foot strip. On a dirt surface which had not been used for aircraft for several years. They extricated one of their crew. However, the colonel was still in the mountains. Then they were betrayed by the strip. Chapter 8. The Choice. The plane was overloaded with a total weight of 155,000 pounds. The wheels were driven down into the soft ground, dug in. The more they started to throttle, the further they went. At that instant, a rescue became a rescue. They were forced to land in ground in Iran. In daylight, there were only 2 options. And it was brutal. Option A, go out of the aircraft and walk away. Give $200 million worth of classified special operations technology such as sensors, communications, and mission systems that China and Russia would pay any price to see to the Iranians. Alternative B, burn them yourself. There was no such option as C. Chapter 9. Burning on Iranian soil. Both planes were brought down by U.S. ground forces. 2 MC-130Js. Both are valued at more than $100 million. Field fire in Isfahan province. The wrecks were recorded by Iran, played it over the loop for the state television. The IRGC spokesman termed it an American debacle. They were right. And it wasn't over. Chapter 10. The Tribesmen. Round began coming in from the ridgelines, and UH-60 Black Hawk helicopters started to fly in low to continue the search. Not from soldiers. From tribesmen. Men who were nomads and had worked these mountains all their lives. Who was acquainted with every fold of the land. They had the rifles and had been told that $60,000 was waiting for them. Rounds from beyond the range of radar. From shooters that no sensor could foretell. It was no longer an army they were fighting against. The land was their enemy. 2 Black Hawks were hit. Both stayed airborne. Both limped back. Chapter 11. The Warthog Falls. A flying gun designed to take a direct hit, an A-10 Warthog, the most survivable attack aircraft ever built, was hit by a surface-to-air missile in the Persian Gulf. The pilot crashed out over Kuwait. He was recovered. 2 MQ-9 Reaper drones went down. Wreckage photographed. Published. Broadcast. The final count: 1 F-15E Strike Eagle, lost. 1 A-10 Warthog, gone. 6 C-4000W communication suites destroyed along with the 2 MC-130J combat shadows in Iranian soil. 29 M-130 missiles destroyed in Iranian soil along with the 2 MC-130J combat shadows. 2 UH-60 Blackhawks hit, survived. 2 MQ-9 Reaper drones shot down. 8 aircraft. 1 rescue mission, 48 hours. Chapter 12. Eagle Claw Part 2. The state media in Iran dubbed it Eagle Claw Part 2. Remember those words? In 1980, Operation Eagle Claw was to be launched to save 52 American hostages in Tehran. Rather, 8 Americans were killed in the Iranian desert. Helicopters were abandoned. Jimmy Carter never bounced back from that presidency. And it took another 10 years for American military confidence to heal over the wound. 78 years later in 2016, Trump was observing the 46-year-old burning of the same soil as the MC-130J. But there was one man left in the mountains. Chapter 13. They got him. And then on Sunday, April 5th, in the daylight, in the fires, 48 hours after the shootdown, deep in the province of Kogaluye and Boya Ahmad province, they got him. The colonel was taken out. Alive, against every odd, against a $60,000 bounty, with an entire country in pursuit of him, with 8 planes down and more than $500 million of planes and equipment destroyed. They got him. So, these are the things we learned. Iran set up a snare, not using sophisticated arms, but simple math. $5,000 missiles against $90 million aircraft. Helicopter-eating landscape. A group of people that is sensitive to rebates. And the United States decided, lose the equipment, however, do not leave a man behind. 8 aircraft gone. $600 million was lost in fire. 46 years later, that same soil provided a few more American medals as Eagle Claw did. Not an American life, however. Not this time.